That is a dream goal.
They found it. They finally found the goal they were looking for.
What a finish that is.
Do not scratch your eyes. This is really happening.
Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us here on Game in Frame. I'm your host Ariel Duran, excited to present this match to you today in the 34th Navasartian games here between Boston and Washington DC. Both these teams have one more game after this one. They both play tomorrow at 8 a.m. Boston have their last game versus Detroit, and DC will play against Montreal. DC looking for their first win in this tournament, and Boston got their first win earlier yesterday, and they played New York as well and lost that match 3-1. So right now, New York have solidified their spot in the final. Again, the top two teams out of this men's group will make it into the final. So both of these teams here today are going to try their best to fill that last spot and face off against New York. Stay tuned, we'll have the first half kickoff for you in just a moment. Welcome back here. We are almost set for the kickoff between Boston, lined up on our left in red, and Washington, D.C. on our right in white. I've been able to broadcast games for both these teams. Had the pleasure of watching them. Also grateful for being here at this tournament, being able to share this experience with everyone tuning in. So thank you for having us, and thank you for what's been a very entertaining and fun tournament so far. Looking forward to more excitement. This will be our second to last match being broadcast. We'll also have the final for you tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. And a reminder that today these temperatures are extremely high, so I would not be surprised if we see more than one water break used in each half. And we get the first whistle there. We get kicked off, and DC start with possession. Some players to look out for. Having seen DC play yesterday, number 18, Sevan Davidian, impressed with some skillful dribbling and good energy, trying to make things happen for his team, especially against that very good New York side. And both these teams fighting for that second spot to try and make it into the final. So this is a very big game for both teams in terms of the outcome of this tournament. And we get DC running down the line here with number 6, Hagop Simonian. And his pass inside gets intercepted by Hampadian, who tries to advance it forward, but it gets stolen back for DC. Here's Tenkadian into the middle there, and a good intervention by Kevork Orfalian. We saw that a couple times in the match against New York. Some crucial interventions, including a goal line clearance, albeit from an offsides effort, but nonetheless, great work rate shown. And here's Matikian for DC. A good step inside and a shot coming towards goal, and it just bounces right down the middle. Shot from Alec McHugh. McHugh scored a great goal against New York in that unfortunate 3-1 defeat, but if you go back and watch our broadcast of that game, definitely a goal worth watching again and again. Here we have number 17, Hagop Kuchagjian. Pass backwards towards Orfalian. And a nice move to shimmy away and advance down the line. And a trip there is going to result in a free kick for Boston. They play quickly into Ampadian. And now Kuchagjian held back there. Gets the whistle from the ref. And Kuchagjian trying to send this one long across the field for Tavishian. And they throw it back there for the number 7, Kevork Orfalian. So right now, Boston seeing a little bit more possession than they got to see in their match earlier against New York. This is their second game of the day. And for DC, this is their first game. Here comes a step in there from Davidian. And now the pass towards him from McHugh didn't quite match the run he was making outside of him, that overlapping run. But good combination there. Good teamwork to try and work together and create a shooting opportunity. And here's Hampadian. We saw a couple good playmaker moments. Most notably in the second half, he had a brilliant cross that was sneaking in towards that far post and would have gone in but for an exceptional save from Abrahamian, the goalkeeper for New York today. And Taraxian plays it inside to the number 10, Hampadian. Here he is trying to make things happen. Kuchagjian also impressed. This time gives the ball away though. Right to Matikian, who has space in front of him. Has a runner left and right. And a foot in nearly wins it back for Boston. Still trying to get that ball away, and this time it is cleared out to the far side. The throw-in goes there for McHugh. Cuts inside. McHugh still with it, trying to power his way forward. It breaks back here for Matikian. Plays it out wide. It's going to be kept in play there by Hagop Simonian. And now for Savan Davidian. Nice pass inside. Gets it back. Tries his luck. And he scores. What a brilliant goal there. First time effort. And I mentioned it earlier. That's a very dangerous player for DC. What an excellent start to the match for them. It's 1-0 for DC. What a great attempt on goal. First time side foot finish. Curling and chipping the goalkeeper. What a brilliant effort. That goal coming very early in the match, just about 5 minutes in. And I'm sure we'll see a bunch of more brilliant moments such as that one as this match goes on. And there he is, Davidian trying to pressure Davidian off the ball. Hamparian's loose pass intercepted there by Hagop Simonian. Has options inside. And a loose pass nearly gives it away, but McHugh can recover that situation. McHugh still driving forward. McHugh cutting inside. And the goalkeeper going to come out and claim it. Got some contact there from McHugh. And the ref gives Boston the whistle. So this game in this tournament, each team playing 4 games to determine positioning and whether or not they'll be able to make the finals. This is a big game for both teams. As I mentioned, they each have one more game after this one. So if either one of these teams can claim all 3 points, that would do them the world of good in trying to make that final. And here come Boston trying to build out of the back. A pass there for Ashian. And he's tripped as he tried to cut inside. There's the number 17, Kuchagjian, there for Hamparian. Those two dropping back, trying to pull the strings from deeper on the field. This time, Boston loses the ball. And they're able to retain it. And a good pass inside, well cut out there by Simon Sogomonian. And Davidian trying to get his head to that one. Eventually, Matikian wins the free kick for his team. And here's Savan Davidian losing out though. Kukajian. And a shot there from just outside the box. Had good pace on it, but a little bit too direct right at the goalkeeper. DC's trying to advance and they decide to turn back there from Tomas Tamian. And you can see they want to give the ball to the youngster, Savan Davidian. A switched attempt goes into the back of the head of Hamparian, and the referee just going to make sure everything's okay. The players out there in the heat definitely making conditions a little bit more difficult. And that one's got to feel a little bit more painful. Hopefully Hamparian's okay. Again, teams have unlimited substitutions available, and they can re-enter the game after exiting. It looks like Hamparian will continue for now. And the referee going to start with the drop ball for Boston, as that switched attempt ended up falling to a Boston player before the ref blew the whistle. And we're back underway. Here's Kukagjian. Therefore, Yegian. And Boston looking for a long range pass forward. It's going to bounce, but it's going to get stuck on the turf. It's another slightly more difficult factor than normal play. Nice ball through the middle there from Matikian for McHugh. Has a runner in front of him, but he's offsides. Gets it back now. McHugh trying to retain possession. Nice spin there. Has an option to his left. Tries to just muscle his way forward. And here's Savan Davidian for Hagop Simonian. Simonian gonna curl this one over the bar. Didn't quite dip in the same fashion that Davidian's shot did earlier for the 1-0 lead. But again, DC right now looking the more confident team. And Boston trying to create some opportunities for themselves up top. So far, most of the chances have been falling to DC. And here they come now as Ashian tried to dribble his way forward. In these hot conditions, the ball on this turf usually tends to stick, make things move a little bit slower on the ground. They try to go in the air this time towards Yegian, and he does well to control it and nearly gets away. He's able to spin now and nearly get around, but good footwork there from the center back to find a way forward. He's going to keep charging ahead. There comes the ball towards Sogomonian. Gets contact there with the goalkeeper, and the ref is going to make sure everyone's good. But what a great run forward from the center back after winning the ball back for his team. Continued his run, found by Hagop Simonian, and then eventually he collided with the goalkeeper. Just checking on him now. Hopefully the goalkeeper is okay. Looks like Sogomonian is just fine. He'll run back to center back position. And the goalkeeper might need a little bit more attention. Still on the ground right now. Not a good sight, especially in these conditions. Want to make sure everyone is staying safe. While these teams are definitely playing very competitively, trying their best to win every ball for their team, we're all here to have fun for the love of the sport. Again, this is a beautifully organized tournament for the Armenian community from different regions across the Northeast. We also have Florida being represented too in other sports here. And looks like the goalkeeper for Boston will need to be substituted out. Very unfortunate for them, as he's able to walk himself off the field, but very, very gingerly. Something we don't like to see, and looks like the DC team will, some of them will also go over to the bench and use this opportunity to cool off, and they get that signal from the referee. So we are also going to take a quick break here, and we'll resume when we have the play restarted. Welcome back. We are just about ready to restart here. Boston restart with possession after their goalkeeper suffered an injury, unfortunately, and had to be replaced. The ref taking that opportunity to use a water break for both teams. And as the score stands, DC making a good case for their final push. Good ball forward there towards Tavician, not able to control it. And DC try and play their way out. That pass out wide, didn't get control though. Pass into the middle for Kuchagjian. He's taken down, and now Boston have a set piece in a very dangerous position here. Hago Kuchagjian, the number 17, has impressed. Has a good engine and played a lot of minutes in that first game, and so far has also played every minute we've had in this game. And Hamparian, the number 10, will take this free kick. Here's Hamparian going for goal himself. Took a deflection and went out of play. It'll be a corner kick for Boston. So another set piece opportunity. And it'll be the number 13, Yegian, to take it from the far side. We've seen some good deliveries from the number 10, Hamparian. This time, Yegian going to send the ball into a good area. The header sends it out. Players asking for a handball. The referee signaling that it hit the shoulder, the top of the shoulder. That ball nearly intercepted. Goes out for a Boston throw. Yegian on that far side. Going to send it right into the box for Kuchagjian. And Ashian trying to dribble his way in between those two defenders. And DC can't hold it up there with Tenkarayan. Now good ball forward. Searching for Kalejian. And a sliding tackle there. Brilliantly timed there by Dukmajian. The ref signals though that it was an infringement. Well, actually that it was a throw-in. Excuse me. And they try to go quick. It falls to Kuchagjian. Sets it back. And a shot cleared off the line. Great positioning there from the defender to clear that one. Shoulder-to-shoulder challenge there. The referee does not blow his whistle and now gives DC the call. What a crucial stop there. Right off the line from the DC captain. And we have another player down there. After that, shoulder-to-shoulder challenge. And it's Chris Ajian, who looks like he'll be okay. It was Arame Temori, the number 16, the captain for DC, who was right on the line and able to clear that shot from close range. Kuchagjian did well to get into a great position and set it back for a teammate. And that ball just won't hit the back of the net so far for Boston. But Boston seeing a little bit more possession now after DC got that early goal courtesy of Savan Davidian. And here they come now through Gregory Davidian. And here's Yegian. Plays it with the outside of his foot. Wide for Hagop Taraxian. Into the middle now, Yegian. Kuchagjian. Tavishian ended up being taken down and the referee gives the free kick. And they play it short there for Hamparian. Has space in front of him. Hamparian's ball through, cut out in the nick of time. Here's Gobenlian having to go backwards. Some pressure there on Yegian, taking his time. Feeling confident in his ability to get away from pressure. A slip there. And the referee gives Boston the call. Unhappy with the decision there. DC. Long ball sent forward. And it's going to be collected, but given right back. And here come Boston once again. Hamparian's shot. Too high, too wide. But more promising here from Boston. They're able to progress more forward and get possession, keep possession a little bit longer. And at the moment it's DC who are struggling to find their way higher up the pitch. And DC restart with that goal kick. Here's Ariona getting tripped up. The referee plays advantage now, blows his whistle, and we're going to have that ball pulled back for a foul. And DC restart with the pass to Matikian, the number 11 there. Good pressure there from Boston, trying to win that ball back immediately. A good sense of urgency being shown by the Boston players. A nice move to evade some pressure and a nice ball down the line. Nearly collected, but once again, the number 7, Kavorik Orfalian, doing his job very well back in defense. And Hampadian trying to get away, but a great sliding tackle there. Stops that in its tracks. And once again, the number 8, Dukmajian, coming up with a big tackle and a chance here to score. He's taken down. And looks like the ref will give a yellow card instead for a dive. As Alexander Ayona was running through on goal. Felt the contact, or assumed there'd be some contact coming, according to the ref, and went down. The ref gives him a yellow card there for a dive. Yegian now for Boston with a neat ball down the line here. And that cross nearly spilled by the goalkeeper, but he's able to keep it in front of him. Tavishian did well to try and drive that with some pace, but didn't quite angle it for the run at the back post by Hampadian. Gwabenlian there to push forward for Boston. And here's Hampadian passing it forward. Not going to be kept in play by Kalejian. And we're going to have a couple substitutions come into the match. We're going to have the number 14, Vartan Arakelian for Boston. And the number 4, Sean Festegjian for DC. And Festegjian straight into the action, trying to control that one into the midfield. Ends up spilling it. And the goalkeeper does well to pass that out wide. Nearly kept in play, but it goes out instead. And Boston trying to restart quickly. Here's the throw to Yegian under some pressure. Yegian trying to fend off the pressure in behind. And Yegian still lifting up across. 2 players at the back post almost colliding with each other. There's their 2 playmakers, Hampadian and Kuchagjian, getting in each other's way. Nice header down by Hagop Taraxian. And Matikian trying to just drop that into the midfield for a couple of his teammates. Still with it here, trying to get through. But good pressure from Boston to, again, keep the ball on this side of the field. And they have the throw in. Here come Boston once again. Throw in towards Hampadian, who's now remaining forward a little bit more. Keeping himself positioned in the box. Gwabenlian going to take this throw in. Let's see if he can get some good distance on this throw. It goes into the box. It's a good throw. It bounces for the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper grateful he hasn't had to dive for too many of these efforts on goal. And a pass to the middle there from Alan Ayona. And Boston do well to win it back, but that pass is a little bit loose. It breaks here for DC to try and advance forward. And they try and just retain possession for the first time in a few minutes. Higher up the field in the Boston half. Nice control there to keep it in play and keep possession, keep the ball moving for DC. Matikian trying to find a way through, combining with McHugh. Matikian's shot is a good one, and it's a goal for DC. Out of nothing. A beautiful combination with McHugh. Matikian made no mistake with that strike. A rifle into the bottom left-hand corner. And the substitute goalkeeper couldn't keep it out. I think very few goalkeepers will be able to keep that shot out. It was a great strike by Matikian to make it 2-0 for DC. And with that, we'll have another water break. So unlucky for Boston as they were growing into the match, starting to create more opportunities, and one vicious attack from DC made it 2-0. We're going to take a break ourselves, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. We are about to restart play here. We finished off right before that water break with an astonishing goal from distance from Arden Matikian, the number 11 for DC. Some good combination play right before that build-up, and then a snapshot first-time effort was a bullet into the bottom left-hand corner. And that's just what DC needed after some sustained pressure coming their way from Boston. It looked like Boston were maybe going to forge a couple opportunities for themselves to get that equalizer. And here they come again through Hamparian, lifting it up for Yegian, but a little bit too much curl on that pass. Savan Davidian, brilliantly done. And Matikian, and now you can see the confidence pouring through this DC team. Savan Davidian driving forward, And he's going to shoot here and test the gloves of the goalkeeper. A good effort. And he wins that header. And it's going to fall here for Matikian. Going to try maybe for another shot. And that pass not going to reach Alexander Arjona. Reminder, number 7, Arjona, is on a yellow card. And goalkeeper going to just send that one long. Not reaching a teammate, but it is going to be pinched here. And a chance to break now for Boston. Nearly had Hamparian been able to control it. And here's Sage Davidian. Out wide now, back to Sage Davidian. And Festekian couldn't quite keep the play going. And Boston will feel a little bit unlucky. It was a great strike, nothing they could do about it. But you could just sense the momentum really now in favor of DC. They try and go for a long-range effort there. Sage Davidian. That time, no problems for the goalkeeper. And this win would be huge for DC if they're able to see this one out. Again, they got one more game tomorrow morning. That'll be against Montreal. A nice header there. Sends that one all the way back towards the penalty area and nearly controlled there by Alexander Arjona. We've seen the number 13, Simon Sogomonian, contribute a couple times. Most notably, he was able to win a ball back and advance forward all the way from that center back position, nearly chipping in with the goal himself. And we'll see the introduction here of Steven Hazarian for Boston. And DC get us restarted. A ball in, and Alexander Arjona couldn't quite get a direct enough header. The goalkeeper dropped it, tried to play quickly here for Yegian. Plays it through the middle. Hazarian steps inside, combining with Yegian. And Yegian looking forward, trying to measure a pass over the top. And Sogomonian once again in the right place at the right time. And a good read there by Gwebenlian. Gonna create an opportunity and a great slide once again. Dugmajian not afraid to get stuck in with a challenge. And a good throw comes in, a chance maybe for Boston. But that header didn't have the purchase on it from Alex Arfalian. The goalkeeper getting the countdown from the referee, has to toss that one back in. He's able to go right through the middle. Matikian just shielding it away from some pressure there from Tatarian. Here's Hagop Simonian. Sees the run through the middle there. Nearly finding Festekian. And Gwebenlian looking for a way forward. That ball's won and it ends up bouncing off of Gwebenlian for a DC throw. Nice job by the number 4, Festekian, to win that back for his team. And DC goes short with the throw in, but it was deemed it was a foul throw, or maybe got played out of touch there. And Boston throw it backwards under some pressure there from Alexander Arjona. And here's Kevork Arfalian. A loose pass there, gives it away, but it's miscontrolled, and momentum of Hagop Simonian takes him into the number 20, Kalajian. The referee just checking in on him, as it was an injury to the head, but he's able to bounce back up. And we'll see the introduction of Kevork Jakmakjian for DC. And Boston Gotta make some improvements here. DC now, after that second goal, seeing more of the ball, creating more opportunities. Here's Matikian trying to get 2 for himself. Goalkeeper nearly slipping. Able to stay put enough to just get in the way of that shot. Not the same power that Matikian could produce on that earlier strike. Oh, nearly given away. Nearly stolen there by Alexander Ariona, and once again Sogomonian there to read it, and he nearly got it back. That ball's gonna bounce and maybe land here for Hamparian. Hamparian still. Hamparian with a chance to get a goal back around the goalkeeper. Hamparian does get the goal for Boston. It's 2-1 for Boston, and things are getting interesting here. So it's 2-1. The number 10, Daron Hamparian, had been staying forward a little bit more as he was playing deeper earlier in this game and in the earlier game played against New York. And this time in that center forward position, showed off a nice bit of skill to get around the defender and the goalkeeper and just slide that one into the back of the net. 2-1 here. DC still lead, but Boston have a lifeline. And that all came from a clearance that was allowed to bounce. And Hamparian did well to just stick with it, follow the spin of the ball, and create something for himself. Here's Alexander Ariona trying to use some speed against his opposite number. And here he is again. Alexander Ariona sliding it through for Hagop Simonian. Simonian crosses it. It's headed to Matikian. It bounces back off of him from an attempted clearance. And luckily for Boston, lands in the goalkeeper's mitts. He sends a long punt forward. And it's going to be nearly controlled, nearly given away there by McHugh. Under pressure once again. This is better from Boston, trying to fight their way back into this match. Again, huge credit to these players for giving everything they got under these conditions in the heat. And Boston get the throw higher up the pitch. Throwing goes into their goal scorer, Hamparian. Nearly able to squeeze through. A slide there, able to be hurdled by Simonian. Thought the ref might blow a whistle anyways for a reckless challenge. And now a ball forward. Going to be collected here. Alexander Ariona gets a call from the ref, calling for a push out as Kevork Orfalian was trying to do as good as he could. In that one-on-one situation, ends up giving up the free kick. Perhaps not the worst result, as it slowed DC down, and he was able to escape without a caution. Davidian for Simonian. The pass backwards towards Davidian, not going to reach him. And Ashian finds Yagian, but that pass down the right side didn't match the run of Hamparian. There's Sevan Davidian, the first goal scorer, and to Sage Davidian. And he tries to feed that ball down the right side towards Jack Magjian. But that time didn't work out for DC. So we are approaching the 45-minute mark. We've had a couple stoppages. I'm interested to see how much time, if any, gets added by the referee. I think the way things have gone, both teams would be content to just take this one into halftime and talk things over. Boston starting to grow a little bit and gain some confidence. A sliding challenge, last-ditch effort there from Alan Ariona. Ball up towards Navasartian. Not controlled though. And here comes the captain for DC, Temori, finding Simonian, and Orfalian gets it, and that's a great ball over the top. Hampadian chasing this one down. Hampadian still cutting it back. Is this going to fall here for Boston and look like a trip? And it was. The whistle goes. It'll be a penalty kick here for Boston. Again, a great opportunity coming so quickly. A great ball over the top there from the number 29, Steven Hazarian. And cut back by Hampadian. And the trip on Chris Ashian results in a penalty here for Boston. A chance to make it 2-2 right before halftime. And it'll be the player who was fouled, Chris Ashian, with a chance to make it 2-2 and level things here at the half. He'll actually leave it for the number 13, Vardan Yagian. Yagian with a big moment for Boston. Yagian scores to make it 2-2, and Boston have clawed their way back into this game, coming back from 2 goals down to level it here at 2-2 right before halftime. Again, both these teams deserve massive, massive credit for the energy being put into this game, given these very hot conditions. And it looks like that'll be halftime. That's how it ends here in the first half. A great recovery and comeback from Boston. We'll be right back with the second half. Stay tuned. Welcome back here. We are about to get underway with the start of the second half. It was a phenomenal first half performance from both teams, really. We saw a couple brilliant goals from DC to give them the 2-goal lead, and then a great comeback grit shown from Boston. First with the goal from the number 10 Amparian, and then a penalty kick won by Chris Ashian, the number 8, and then put home by Vardan Yagian right at the halftime whistle. So hopefully we are in for more goals here in the second half. Again, as I mentioned, these two teams pretty much head to head in their hopes to get into the final. Looks like we're almost ready. And we get the whistle from the referee to kick off here for the second half. Boston finished the first half very strongly, and DC looked to be cruising at 2-0. And a little bit of shock to their system that they now have to fight to regain the lead. So Boston, they had the number 10 Amparian taking up that center forward position. That was when he got his goal to half the lead that DC had. And now he's accompanied by the number 9 Alexander Tavishian. Some pressure coming from Festekjian. And Boston do well to play their way out there with Kuchagjian. Ball in through the middle there. And Ashian able to get around Tenkerian. It's a very interesting dynamic the way the game was going. After the first goal, when it was at 1-0 for DC, they started to drop off just a bit, and Boston were getting a lot more possession. And then out of nowhere, DC had one counter, good link-up play between McHugh and Matikian, and Matikian had a great finish to make it 2-0. Now Boston have a chance to take the lead here with Tavishian, but went a little bit too heavy with that touch. Goes out for a goal kick. And the ref got a little signal from his linesman. Gonna talk things over. Not sure exactly what the linesman spotted. Tavishian looks to be a little upset, maybe with the goalkeeper. Maybe some words being exchanged. He's getting talked to by the number 10 Amparian, trying to just calm things down. Boston works so hard. Again, they played earlier against New York in a tough 3-1 loss. They actually scored a very late goal in that match, so they were still putting in a lot of effort. That game was actually at 1-0 for quite a long time. It wasn't until later in the second half that New York were able to build upon their 1-goal lead. So the Boston team and the players have really been pushing themselves today and shown really good fight to make a game out of this. Here come DC, trying to get back in front here with Matikian. Matikian sees the run out wide. It's a searching ball, trying to reach his teammate running on the far side, that's Simonian. And eventually, a couple Boston players combined to clear that ball out. Ball goes in there to Tenkerian. And Boston win it back here. Kalejian trying to dance his way around. That ball ends up going out of play, and eventually the signal was for a DC throw-in. And they go down the line there towards Simonian, the left back, who's not afraid to advance forward. Tries to find his teammate running in. McHugh gets possession and still going to fight for it there. It's Nketiah, and he couldn't quite get the pass through into the middle. Had Fistekjian trying to position himself in front of goal and pick up the loose ball. And the ball goes out of play there. The signal is for a goal kick. Looked like Arfalian maybe had put that out himself, but got a touch off of a Boston player. So Boston making a couple opportunities out of nothing to get their 2 goals. Their first goal came with a long clearance that ended up falling to the number 10 Amparian. And then a bit of a scrappy skirmish in the box led to a foul and a penalty. And now they come on the line with Kalejian. And that ball gonna nearly be kept alive. And the goalkeeper did well to get in front of Tavishian. The header back in that general direction. And Tavishian, who was offsides, definitely could not have played the ball and tried to just get in the way of the goalkeeper. Ends up getting himself a yellow card. A little needless there, as he would have been offsides anyways had the ball actually been controlled by him. And did not need to challenge the goalkeeper for that one. These players gotta keep their heads. Nice ball into the middle. Good combination there. Link up with McHugh. Passing out wide here for Simonian. And Simonian able to step inside. A little bit of freedom there. Here's Matikian on the right foot. Cuts it back. Sevan Davidian. Back for Matikian, and he's just offsides. He's claiming there was another defender keeping him on sides. Close there for that call. And once again, the number 18, Sevan Davidian, combining well with his attacking midfielders and forwards. We'll see the introduction here of the number 30, Adin Nazarian for Boston. And the free kick is sent forward towards Kalejian. Ashian trying to break free. So is Matikian able to get it here for Tenkerian. A sliding challenge is a clean one according to the ref. Another challenge wins it right back for DC, but the ref blows his whistle, gives a free kick. You can see the players upset with that call after there was a heavy challenge that just came in. And the ref having a go over, have a word, maybe explain his thought process on that one. And it'll be a free kick here for Boston. So Boston get that free kick and ease some of the pressure. And here's Amparian, the player to spark the comeback, and a good ball over to Kuchagjian, and another challenge in the box. The ref doesn't see anything wrong with it. Kuchagjian nearly getting in between those players and getting opportunity to get a shot off, but ended up losing his footing. And Orfalian sends that one forward, and the flag goes up from the linesman as Khoshajian was coming back from an offsides position. So as I mentioned earlier, Boston have 1 win and 1 loss in this tournament, and DC looking for their first victory of the tournament. This will be a painful one if they can't secure 3 points, having had a 2-goal lead. Here comes Gueben Leon, stopped in his tracks. DC need to win here if they want to get into that second spot for the finals. A throw in there goes towards Hamparian. A foot in front of the defender, gets it away. Wrestling for the ball there is the number 46, Tenkerian. Nearly given up there. Chris Ajian able to pass it back for Kevork Rafalian. And here's Chris Ajian again. Gets that ball touched away, still tries to fight for it. And Alan Arjona able to send it back for his goalkeeper, and his clearance sends it out. It'll be a throw-in deep in the DC half for Boston. And Alexander Arjona will come into the game, the number 7 for DC. Now let's see what distance they can get on this throw. It does go right into the middle there, nearly picked up by a Boston player. And here's a chance for DC to break. Nice move to break free by Sevan Davidian. Still going, and a nice pass outside. Are they going to get a cross in? There's Tenkerian on the top of the box. Here comes the ball, and it's intercepted. A well-timed run to get back and cut out that attack. But here come DC once again. Sevan Davidian already with 1 goal to his name. A nice ball down the line. Can he get a touch to it? Going in for it, and the goalkeeper equal to it. That ball is still in play. No whistle by the ref. And the DC players down in some pain off the pitch. You can hear the players barking at each other. And the ref is going to just make sure. I believe that's Fekstechian, the number 4, who was trying to keep that ball alive. Looked like a fair challenge by the goalkeeper. And again, you can see how much it means to these players not holding back from these challenges. And again, a couple players on yellow cards, got to be careful. The number 9 for Boston, Alexander Tavishian, and the number 7 for DC, Alexander Arjona, both on yellow cards. Need to just keep their heads and not commit any silly fouls. And players right now going towards the benches. I'm not sure if we got the official signal for a water break, and now we do. So we're going to take a quick break ourselves. We'll be right back with more action here in the second half. Welcome back here. We are wrapping up from our water break. Looks like one of the tents almost flew away in the wind. I'm sure the players are grateful for any little breeze that they can get. And play has been restarted. DC have the ball now. So it's 2-2 here. And DC should be slightly more desperate for the victory. The ball goes out of play there from Temori. And DC will be a little bit disappointed that they couldn't keep their lead in the first half, and Boston was able to tie it up right at the halftime whistle with that penalty kick from Yegian. And it's been pretty even here in the second half, as neither team wants to make a mistake and forfeit any advantage. That ball scuffed. Yegian gonna chase this one, and eventually it's cleared by Alan Ayona. A mistake, almost giving Yegian the ball. The throw-in goes short for the number 13. And Kalejian ends up winning his team the corner. So Yegian, one of their set piece takers, will be in that corner to take this one. And let's see if Boston can make this set piece count. Yegian's ball in towards that back post. The header comes in. It bounces off of a DC player, goes out for a corner on the opposite side. It was Gobenlian sneaking in at the back post, ends up heading it into the back of one of the DC players. They seemed a little unaware of where that ball ended up going. And we saw the temperature starting to flare up a little bit before we had that water break. And now, with the game on the line, the pressure just increased here. Ball comes in. It's at the back post. And saved by the goalkeeper, Kuchakjian. His shot at point blank range couldn't get past the goalkeeper. And it'll be yet another corner back on this near side. Yegian to take it. And let's see where they go with this delivery. Yegian's ball in right on top of the goalkeeper at that back post. And it's touched on by Gobenlian, but it loops over the crossbar. Again, unmarked there at that back post. DC going to want to do a better job marking, making sure they don't allow opportunities like that again. And here comes DC. Temori into the middle there, looking for McHugh. And Kukajian able to ease out of the pressure. Challenging for it there. One back, and the ref gives Boston the call. I thought Matikian got there in time, but it was deemed unfair by the referee. And so Boston have another set piece here. Another chance to deliver a dangerous ball in. And here comes a pass down the line. Slid in, nearly spilled, and given right to Yegian. Got to be careful not to give away a corner. It's going to be sent down the line for McHugh. Is going to try and spin away. He does brilliantly. And that ball just went out of play. Nice move to try and get past the defender. Looked like Hampadian was trying to cover that side of the field. And McHugh couldn't quite get by him. And a foul throw A little bit too lax there from Boston, giving DC a way out. And Goben Leon gets his head to it, sends it out for a throw. A little bit further up the pitch for DC. And DC going to give it right back to Boston. The refs going by the letter of the law here. Saw something wrong with that throw in. Once again, DC looking for their first victory. Their first match ended in a 5-5 draw versus Detroit. Sadly for us, we didn't get to broadcast that match, but seems like a very entertaining match. And as we've already seen here, DC know how to find the back of the net, but can they defend it? And the ref blows his whistle for a free kick, and Boston take it quickly after Davidian had put that ball down. Hampadian around the corner there for Kuchagjian, and good recovery there as Matsikian shielded the ball well and was able to let it roll out for a goal kick. And we'll see Alex Orfalian leave the field at number 11, and Chris Ashian, who won that crucial penalty to give his team a lifeline and equalize. Sogomonian into the middle there. Lots of space here for Savan Davidian. Ball forward for Festekjian. Trying to get there just in front of the goalkeeper, who did well to read it and put that one out of play. Not for the first time, Festekjian running on that side of the field, almost getting there in front of the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper did very well to read it and get out early. And just a little pause here. Referee just making sure everything's okay on the field. And DC will get this throw, setting it for Savan Davidian. Dangerous in the box, and a chance there to get the lead. Ball put back in play, and the goalkeeper dives down and takes down the DC player there. It was Alex Ariona who tried to put that effort on target, and as the ball came back in, Boston goalkeeper diving down to stop it, took the player with him. No call by the referee. And unfortunately we have another player down, needing some attention. I don't blame these players for taking a little bit of time to catch their breath, perhaps cool off for a second. We see players on the sidelines taking on some water, discussing things over with each other on both sides, trying to figure out how can they find a way ahead in this match past their opponent. And let's hope that the DC player is okay. Still not sure exactly who that was that fell down. And the ref just taking this opportunity maybe to discuss some things with the players, and he's going to signal for another water break, understandably here in the heat. We're going to take a break ourselves and be right back. All right, welcome back here. Thanks for sticking with us. Unfortunately, the DC player did have to leave the field after getting injured, and he was helped off the field by another teammate. Looks like that was McHugh. Excuse me, not McHugh. Another teammate going to help him up and to make sure the injured player was okay. And we restart things. Still at 2-2 here. And everything to play for. So we continue to play on. I'm interested to see, with 5 minutes left of regulation time, how much time the ref decides to add on. A lot of considerations to be taken today, considering the heat, these injuries, and a chance to get the goal, and it's a goal for DC. What a goal! A strike from distance once again for DC, and it's that man again, Matikian, to make it 3-2. Wow, just in time, right before we're reaching that 90-minute mark. As I was wondering how much time we would have on top of the 90 minutes, and Matikian, as both teams were starting to get back into the game, found a wonder strike from distance once again. He has 2 goals to his name today, and let's see if DC can hold on to that lead. This would be a huge victory for them. Their first win of the tournament. They had that 5-5 draw in their first game. This ball's going to bounce here, and a chance for Festechian. Muscled off of it and got a couple nudges there as well from Taraxian. And Boston trying to produce something here. Kuchagjian got his foot to it and then got a little kick there from Festechian. Excuse me, that was Alex Arjona. And what a blow that is for Boston after fighting so hard at the end of that first half to get 2 goals to level things, and then once again keeping up the fight in the second half. Again, they played earlier against New York in a tough 3-1 loss, and they have to do it all over again and try and get back level. Alexander Arjona trying to get something on that. Kalejian inside to Yegian. And the recent goal scorer, Matikian, putting it out of play. Yegian with a nice switch of play. And a good win there from McHugh. Sees himself free with lots of space in front of him. Is he going to go alone? McHugh. And he chips it over the bar. Needed to be a little bit more delicate with that finish. Got a little bit too much height and distance on that chipped effort. It was good coverage on his teammate who was in the middle there. Festechian trying to put himself in a good position to score. And McHugh tried to go alone. Really his best option, but the chip was a little bit too powerful. And McHugh nearly getting that ball back once again. It's a free kick for Boston. And looked like he got a stomp on top of his foot there. A bit of a painful one. And we'll have another, hopefully brief stoppage. But he looks in some serious pain. Upset with the situation. But he'll get back to his feet now. It was Yegian. Still feeling that one. And he's going to hit the turf again, and he might have another long stoppage here. I wonder if the ref, as we tick closer and closer towards that 90-minute mark, I wonder if the ref is going to add on any time here as it's been stop-start in the second half. DC were able to take advantage of possibly both teams being a little bit slow to get started, trying his luck from distance, and sad to see Yegian, who's had a good game. He scored that penalty to level things for his team, and he'll have to come off the field in some serious pain there, and we'll play on as Gwen Leon seems like he'll go back over to that side to cover for his teammate. So we play on here past the 90 minutes, and Boston have a free kick, a chance to level things. DC want to hold on to this lead. The ball's a good one, and it's headed over the bar by a DC player, and it'll be a corner kick for Boston. Maybe the last chance for them. The ref signaling we'll have a little bit more time. Not sure exactly how much time will be added. And Boston have a chance to level once again. Here comes the corner kick. On top of the goalkeeper, the header goes up from the defender, and it's cleared a little bit further there by Dukmajian. And DC trying to break here, and a crunching challenge cuts down Sogomonian. It's a yellow card for, actually a red card shown, and another red card. Is that 2 red cards? One for the number 30, Alan Ariona. Ariona didn't seem to be, excuse me, not Alan Ariona, Aaron Nazarian for Boston, leaving the field. He wasn't involved in the challenge, so it must have been for some words he said. So not long left here, and Boston gonna finish this one down a player. So just one red card. Looked like a yellow card was shown to the offender on the foul, and then another red card shown for dissent. McHugh with a chance to secure this victory, trying to just bring the ball deep into the corner, going to keep driving on, and that task a little bit more difficult now for Boston as they try and dig deep and level it again. And we get the final whistle from the referee. What an exhilarating match. And it finishes 3-2 for Boston. We had some great goals and a great contest from both teams. And that'll wrap things up here. Thanks for tuning in with us. Finishes 3-2 here for DC to get their first win in the tournament. Stay tuned. We'll be back tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. with the final. We'll see you next time.